Hey everybody, it's Astro D, relationships and synastry. That's my specialty. But I'm bringing some flavor to this thing we call astrology. So, hey everybody, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Mercury going into Capricorn, coming out of shadow week. It's been interesting. Jupiter had conjuncted Mars, so much was going on this week. Just like so much is going on every week if you're looking at the skies and stuff. So, I just wanted to say I'm just so excited about, these lives I'm doing now, getting back to lives. It's like literally I got people coming over. Look, I'm cleaning up. I light incense and stuff, y'all. And my peoples are like, so what you doing? And I'm like, listen, I got company. I got stuff going on. Well, what you got going on? Look, the people on the internet are coming and they're going to be in this chat and I'm going to talk to them. So speaking of chat, let me see who's in here with me today that I could give a shout out to. Computer's freezing up though. Here it is. Here we go. I'm looking in here to see who's joining me today on this lovely, lovely Sunday. Man, I love Sundays. I do. So today I wanted to do something interesting. I wanted to talk about the Netflix series, She's Gotta Have It, right? I wanted to talk about that series and I wanted to talk about how it correlates astrologically. It's so interesting and I was watching it, oh my God, and I'm just really excited to talk about this here. But first, let me check out who is here with me in chat. So you got Siobhan. What's up, Siobhan? All right, Amber. Hey, Amber from Dallas. Okay, we got some Just Bay. Just B. B-E-A. I say Bay, but that's just B. Pee-wee. What's up, Pee-wee? Okay, so we got a nice full chat room, all these people. So here's a cap of what's going to go on today. So today I'm going to talk about this She's Gotta Have It topic. And then towards the end, I want to have a Q&A session, synastry. I love to do that. So get your questions ready now. Write them down, okay? Or type them on the side, cut and paste that sucker, and hit me when I call for the Q&A time, all right? But for now, oh, I love you too. Oh my God. Yes, I just love this love. In your channel, I've learned so much. Cherish yourself, says. Thank you. I'm glad. That's the whole goal. I really want this to be a place where you can learn more than anything. Self-empowerment here, being an individual, doing what you need to do on your own. Okay. So, all right. So today I'm talking about how I was watching She's Gotta Have It, right? And it dawned on me. There's this part when Nola, okay, see, I just get excited, y'all, and I'm just going so far ahead. All right, She's Gotta Have It. She's Gotta Have It is an original 1986 film that was made by Spike Lee. Spike Lee wrote that himself. He just wrote that in 1986. So he came out with a new series on Netflix, breaking it down into series and not just a movie. So now Spike Lee is one of my favorite directors, just straight up. Now, I mean, yeah, of course, people got criticisms on his work, but for what it is, take it for what it is, his work, I love it. I always have. Grew up watching his movies. In fact, I remember watching She's Gotta Have It when I was a little kid, but not really watching it. Because I don't know if there was this like surge in sex and violence in movies, but I do remember watching movies with my parents and everybody they're like, cover your eyes. And when I was little, I'm like, I'm sitting there covering my eyes through the whole damn movie. You know what I'm saying? So why am I even here? So anyway, I thought that was so funny, back in the day watching movies. So this was one of those movies. So now as an adult, I can watch it and keep my eyes open. But now I'm all shy. I was like, oh my goodness, She's Gotta Have It. So first I want to say, hey, Gemma. First, I want to give a disclaimer out now. See, I was about to rush ahead, but I'm going to give a disclaimer. If you have not seen She's Gotta Have It, go get your Netflix subscription, do what you got to do to go check it out, right? And then come back to this video because I'm giving out spoilers. I'm telling all the details and all that stuff. So what I want to do now, so I was watching, now I can get in my story. I was watching She's Gotta Have It, and I noticed there was a scene, two scenes actually, where Nola Darling says, I'm going through my Saturn return. I said, well, no, she didn't. Did she? Hey, Mom. How you doing? Mom is Sandy Williams. That's Mama. All right, Mom. So anyway, yeah, so I was like, oh my goodness, no, she did not just say Saturn return. So I'm like, all right, oh my God, no, that was in my head. She says it again. So I'm like, whoa. Then as much as I'm paying attention to all of her lovers. And I notice, wow, they have their own, very clearly playing out their signs in Venus, their Venus signs. Very clear. I mean, it's pretty blatant. And I wonder, now Spike has other members of the team now on this writing section when he did it the second time for Netflix. So I wondered if these writers, it's so interesting that they were doing that. So Spike is my favorite, one of my favorite directors. And April, thank you for asking about it. The painting, yes, this is actually a charcoal piece that I did. This is not a painting, but it's one of my favorite pieces that I've done. I love to paint children. I love to draw children, every kind of aspect. So this is one of my favorite pieces that I did. I did it in Union Square Park, literally on the ground on my knees, because I used to sell my artwork out there. Astro D's been working very, very hard for a very, very long time. So thank you for asking about this, the painting, April. See, I'm getting better, y'all. The chat does not distract me as much. It's much better. Okay, so I looked at each of her lovers and I said, oh my goodness, these guys and ladies are really playing out these signs here. So what I wanted to do is to make this really interesting. What I'm going to do is I want to describe these signs to you, and I'm going to show you some slides, and we're going to talk about each of these characters. And at the end, I want you to tell me where their Venus is, because I mean, now check this out, guys. I am not, look, I'm not crazy in a sense. I know this is a fantasy world, okay, but I'm sure some of y'all out there are Nola darlings or know a Nola darling, or, you know, have just experienced each of these archetypes, okay? So I find this, you know, like I said, to be very interesting. So I wanted to start off, you know, like I said, it's completely fantasy fictional, and it's practice. I think it's excellent practice when you can look at signs, when you can look at TV and use that. The TV talk shows are the best because those are the real, you know, real true reactions, you know, so talk shows are good, and sometimes movies. I mean, you guys, we're not the only ones out there interested in astrology. There's people out there with power that are into astrology and even put it into their work and their creativity. So, you know, this topic for me, like I said, it's excellent. I'm an actress. So, you know, I'm into movies and stuff like that. I even almost waited on a line to audition for this. I didn't have an agent at the time, so he had a massive line, Spike Lee, all around Brooklyn to get to just be seen by him. I remember that day I was doing background, and I was like, I'm just going to email them. You know, I'm just going to email them. I don't want to mess up my background gig. But, you know, I should have left that job and went on that line, right? Okay. So anyway, next season, though, season 2 is coming out. I'm not, you know, who knows? Anyway, so I got my notes here, and, you know, I'm just so I can stay on point with what's going on. So she's got to have it. This describes a young African-American artist in Brooklyn. She's a painter and she's an artist. So, you know, I went crazy when immediately my mouth was open. Like, I was like, oh my God, what's up, Karen? I'm glad you're enjoying this so far. So I saw that, and I was just like, oh my God, she's in Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn. If you haven't been to Brooklyn, check it out. Please go to Bed-Stuy. Go to the coolest. There's awesome, amazing parties and amazing artists in Brooklyn right now, today, this time. I don't know about Brooklyn next year or the year after that with these high prices and these homes. So you better catch it while it's still cool, like this show. All right. So Nola darling, this woman manages, it's basically a story of her self-discovery, you know what I'm saying, and how she's juggling 4 lovers while she's going through this journey of her Saturn return, you know, finding out who she is as a woman. You know, she's faced with assault, and she has to deal with that psychologically. She's seeing her therapist. I mean, it's just this whole walkthrough of Nola's life. So going over the list of these 4 characters, and we're going to start with Miss Nola darling here. The lovely Nola darling, played by actress Dawanna Wise. The gorgeous Dawanna Wise, who is doing very, very well in her career right now. Shout out to Dawanna Wise. So now, one thing I want to start off, a quote that Nola says. Some of these might be so easy. But this was fun. I want to start off with a quote that Nola says in the beginning, practically the first episode. She says, "I consider myself abnormal, but who wants to be like anyone else? I'm not a freak. I'm not a freak, but one-word labels I don't believe in." That quote was a little off, but that's pretty much what she's saying. She's like, I'm not a freak, but I don't believe in one-word labels. She's not feeling traditional relationships. Nola entertained 4 different lovers. All right. Now, some are old-fashioned, be like, oh, Nola was a hoe and all this stuff, whatever. This is an alternative life. This is new. Polyamorous is where she was coming from. Okay, freedom. Freedom is where Nola was really coming from the gate. We're going to look at some slides for a moment here. And I really want us to check out, the essence of where Nola was coming from. I think that also, one thing about Nola that I noticed is that Nola stands for her community. Very much so. Nola is about, making sure she's talking to her neighbors. This is Nola, darling, y'all. Hope you all can see. Nola is about talking to her neighbors. She's about the community. She is about her art, and expressing her art in a unique type of fashion. Here, this is Nola when Nola had gotten assaulted, and when Nola got assaulted, she used her art to express the pain of that, the shock and the fear. And she created a My Name Isn't Sweetheart, battling, revolutionizing this and battling the misogynistic world that's out there, this over left brain misogynistic thing. My name isn't baby girl. So she went out rebelliously. This is illegal what she's doing. She went out rebelliously and put this out, but it created a movement. This is her. See, this is her at her, town meeting here. The city meeting. They're talking about her neighborhood. She's standing up for him right here. This is an ex-Vietnam. This is an ex-Vietnam vet friend that she went to school with. Look at him. She's buying his page. She's about the community, y'all. This is the beautiful Nola, darling. Even there was an altercation that happened with the neighbor, and she's standing up for him again. Even went to jail for the brother. Okay? So Nola, darling, here is no joke as far as what she stands for. I'm coming back to you guys. Getting off this screen share for a second. And I will get faster. Okay. So this is pretty much, where she was coming from. The My Name Isn't, standing up for people, speaking up, the multiple lovers and partnerships. She's even dating a woman. That's the 4th. You don't see that on the cover, but that's her 4th lover. She's dating a woman. Alternative lifestyles. So everybody, can you tell me what Venus expression Nola is putting out here? If you watched my previous video on love styles, I talk about this Venus, and she, like I said, she exudes it very well, not feeling traditional relationships. She's the one love type. I love everybody type. So can anybody tell me this one? And Siobhan, right away. Siobhan, you ain't playing. Siobhan is not playing. Her Venus is in Aquarius. Venus and Aquarius, they need space. They love freedom. Yes, Sarah, that's it. Venus and Aquarius. Venus and Aquarius need space. They need freedom. All right. Venus and Sagittarius could be an idea too. This is fantasy. So we could, you could say Sagittarius, but I say Aquarius. She's putting out a lot of Aquarian energy here. Very rebellious, fight for the power, fight for the people, all of this stuff. And don't get too close, because I love everybody. This love is one for all, the group socializing, right? So that was Miss Nola, darling. Good job, everybody. I love it. So her next lover we're going to talk about. Her next lover is Greer Childs. This guy, I'm gonna get to the slides on Greer Childs, because that brother is very nice to look at. He was built very nicely, and he is just wonderful to look at on the screen. So, Greer Childs we got here. Now, this guy was so much about himself. I mean, they had to make him that fine to be that conceited and, to pull it off, because you almost let him get away with it. It's like, well, he is that fine, but still. you know, and he wasn't mean about it. He was just very matter-of-factly, you know, about his attractiveness. Hey, I mean, this guy has a very high sense of importance here, Greer Childs. I'm going to share with you what Greer Childs look like. And I mean, just looking at the guy right away, you can kind of tell where he was coming from. I mean, here's a quote from Greer Childs. We're going to go to his slide. This is the lovely Greer Childs. I mean, look at this guy, ladies. Ladies, gents too. I mean, hey, you know, check him out. He was no joke. But the thing about him that really, at first I was like, maybe his Venus is in Gemini, because homeboy, you know, he was a little, Geminis can flow on both sides. These are a lot of Gemini, Venus and Gemini, especially men, you know, they're in touch with their feminine and masculine side. And they're what you would call metro types. So at first I was like, okay, you know, Greer Childs maybe was coming up with that. But he says this quote, y'all. He says this quote. Look at him. Look at him kissing the towel that was just rubbing on him. He's got a G on the towel, y'all. A G on it. There it is. Here it is. You see that G? His name is Greer. He is like in love with himself. There it is. He is again. Okay. One quote that stood out to me at what his Venus was. Look at him again. That really stood out to, I loved. Okay. I'm going to say the quote first, and I'm going to talk about this scene real quick. This quote, he says about Nola. He says, what does he say? Oh, here we go. That woman worships me. Dynamic duo. Legendary lovers. Legendary lovers is what he says. I absolutely love this scene. Shout out to Spike Lee, the cinematographers, whoever did this scene of them. Spike Lee does this famous thing of, I guess the camera is moving behind him while he's walking, while the characters are walking. Something like that. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to come back to you guys. Something like that, but I think it's just, I think it's beautiful how he does that. And I mean, Greer was very proud of the look, the visual display of the two of them. You know, he wanted to adore her. He was adored. Another quote that he says that I thought was interesting, because like I said, I was like, maybe Venus and Gemini again. Another quote that he says is, now mind you, first I want to see what everybody says about him first. What do you guys think this guy is? All right, so Venus and Leo, he has Venus and Leo. Yes, Venus and Leo. Now let me talk about this for a second. I don't want y'all Venus and Leo peeps to get mad at me now. The thing with Venus and Leo is that, you know, remember there's certain octaves. I'm always big on talking about the octaves, okay? Over vanity, too much vanity, that's a lower octave of Leo. Okay, so this guy is really expressing it in that manner. I mean, and then to verify my theory on this, I said, well, hey, Lola, if I'm correct about Lola, her Venus is in Aquarius. That's an opposition. He liked that challenge. He was digging the fact that he had to work hard. I quote, I saw her eyeing me and she wasn't even interested. And that was a big turn on. I mean, damn, like, talk about wanting a challenge. I mean, he wanted to, I guess, feel that he earned that situation with Nola Darling. But shout out to Greer Childs. I like that name too. That was pretty cool. So now the next guy and you guys got it. Thank you, Venus and Leo. That was correct. This guy's Venus is so in Leo, but he has a lot of Gemini aspects. He was always speaking French to her, you know, and he was always like, you know, wordplay. Oh, and the drama he brought, which is so cool though. It was really nice. I liked how he was so very expressive when he talked. I thought that was cool. So now what I wanted to talk about is her next lover. This is now lover number 2. His name is Jamie Overstreet. Jamie Overstreet. Now, I'm sorry, part of him got on my nerves, y'all. If y'all know, if y'all have seen this and you've seen Jamie Overstreet got on my nerves a little bit. He was a hopeless romantic, okay? Constantly yearning all the damn time. I mean, after a couple scenes, I was just like, are you serious, dude? I mean, he was Mr. Poet. I'm going to do a screen share. We're going to let's check out Jamie Overstreet. because this guy, and he's oh my God, the actor was so handsome. So I thought that was really cool too, that he picks, of course, Spike always picks really attractive people for his movies. So we're gonna get into Mr. Overstreet, this interesting character that, hold on one second. I'm getting there, y'all. I'm getting there, being quicker with it. Let's bring this down. All right, now let's share it. So, Jamie Overstreet, right here, y'all. This brother right here, Mr. Piner, I like to call him. All right. You know, he's the hopeless romantic. He lives in a fantasy world that look at him pining right here. He lives in this fantasy world. He's married, guys. He's married, and he lives in this fantasy world that him and Nola are supposed to be together, I guess, while he's with his wife. I don't know, pining again. All right. That they're supposed to be together or something like that and take off and run away into the sunset. It's not going to happen. He reads her sappy, yep, more pining from Jamie. He reads her these really sappy poems and stuff like that. And I love you, you know, and what could I do without you? You know, this is him drinking. All right. This is him, and Spike Lee does this cool, like, cinematic thing where, you know, it's him expressing his feelings in the scene and he's drinking. And he passes out, falls in his drunkenness, mourning. There he is. He's bringing the drama, but different than the Venus and Leo Greer child. He's bringing it like, why can't we be together? Bringing that stress, man. And into this Venus and Aquarius, she's like, oh, hell no. You got to go with that. Look at him. He's reading her poem right now in this scene. You know what I'm saying? And this is him. Now, this Venus and Aquarius dude, you see this picture, guys? This is her painting. One thing about him was he loved her art. He supported her art. He bought her supplies, all that good stuff. You know, so Jamie Overstreet was really supportive in that sense, but the guy tortures himself. He buys a painting of her, a life-size painting of her to put in his room because his wife won't let him sleep in the same room. So he puts it in his room. Torture, total torture and delusion, okay? This is a quote from him. And I was like, oh God, when I heard him say, he goes, this bed is cold. This canvas is colder. How can I spend another night alone? Blah. Jamie Overstreet, tell me, guys, what do you guys think? Fantasy world. Yes, this guy has a heavy, yes, Pisces. Come on. Or a heavy 12th house pact, because he's, you know, doing the extramarital thing. You know, he's got a wife already, and he's got Nola on the side, and he's fantasizing and pining about Nola creating. Apparently, his wife was even like, what about the one before that? And the one before that? And that really blew me away. Like, oh, you do this. This is something you do, Jamie. You just fall in love and fantasy love with everybody. You got to watch out for those Venus and Pisces types. You know, they're the type they'll break up with you, cheat on you, break up with you, and cry about it. And then you're like, well, why are you crying? You played me. Why are you crying? And next thing you know, you're consoling them for playing you. So you got to be careful with these Venus and Pisces types. Lower octave, guys. There's a higher octave of Venus and Pisces that's doing it the right way, you know, or doing it in a better way. So not all Venus and Pisces. Okay. Okay. So the next one I'm coming to, this is a lot of fun. I love this. The next one I'm coming to is her name is Opal Gilstrap. This is a lesbian that she dates. And I said to myself, you know, when I first heard that name, I said, man, this rings strange to me. Why does Opal get? And it hit me. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Okay. So if you get that one, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But I was like, oh my God, no, they did not name her that. I love the names, by the way. The names of these characters are really cool. So Opal Gilstrap. Opal Gilstrap wasn't playing. Opal had her ish together. Jamie had his stuff together financially, but Opal had her stuff together, like, you know, everything. She was single. She had her business. Okay. Miss Love, you better stop, Miss Love. I got to finish now. She had her stuff together, Opal. She was no joke. All right. She was tight. She was regimented. Okay. Let's check out Miss Opal Gilstrap here. Let's check her out because I really like this character. I thought she was really interesting. And she was who she was. You know, people got to be who they are. And she wasn't making no compromises, and especially not for Nola. Okay, because she accepted Nola for who Nola was. This is Opal, y'all. All right, Opal Gilstrap. I hope I'm sharing this correctly. All right, this is her coming with the flowers. She's ready. And I thought the actress, I felt like this actress was embodying this sign, period. I think she's this sign, period, that I'm going to say that she is. I remember this part. I thought it was cool because as soon as she came in the door, you know, Nola had her paintings. And the first thing Opal noticed was that they stunk. She bought those paintings from the bum, the same guy, you know, the ex-guy, you know, military dude, that's her friend. She bought those paintings for him in a drunkenness. And Opal was like, oh, God, what's that smell? So Opal wasn't playing that. But see, the thing about Opal is that Opal was constantly saving Nola's butt. All right, look at this. When Nola had to go to jail for trying to stand up for the homeless guy, you know, who come to bail her out? There go Opal. Here's them together in the park, you know. There was another piece I had. Opal also got her out of trouble with something else. Oh, she locks her keys out of the house. And Opal gets her out of trouble. Okay, so Opal likes to save. I'm finding. I think that's what she likes. She did. You know, she understands that you know, Nola's pretty into men. But you know, whenever you need some saving and some loving, Opal even comes to her rescue when Nola's assaulted. Nola's tired of the men or whatever. Now she's her comfort. She's something safe for her. That happens a lot in these situations, but that's a whole nother video, y'all. That's a whole nother video. So the thing with Opal is you know, she's a conservative type. Come on, you guys. Oh, she shuts her down. The end of the relationship kind of comes when Nola rolls up in there late. So I guess you guys pretty much got this one. I see Venus in Virgo. Yes, Venus in Virgo. They don't play no games. And it's weird. It's like they're really strict, but they're not. She's very clean. Yes, so clean. She didn't want that smell in her. That's what I'm saying, guys. This is too, like, somebody knew about astrology up in here, man. Somebody knew about astrology because this is too close to these archetypes. I mean, way too close. But I think if you think about it, these are archetypes of life. You can put a name to it. You can put a name to regimentness and being strict and about cleanliness and discriminating on those things. You can put a title on that. And I guess I call it Virgo. Okay, her Venus was in Virgo. All right. So this last character, one of my favorites, this actor is fine. I mean, he's got his glasses on and all that stuff. Yes, Chelsea. Opal's Venus is in Virgo, Chelsea. Glad you're here. Good to see you. So now we're going on to Mars Blackmon. Mars Blackmon was kind of one of my favorites because I kind of get this style of doing things. Okay, Mars, this is the easiest one. I mean, you can't go wrong. For real. Thank you, Just B. I think the writer had something to do with Astro. That's what Just B says. I agree. So Mars Blackmon, he has this playful, aggressive way of pursuing Nola. If you notice, Mars is constantly getting into fights. Constantly. There's always, I'm going to show you. Mars is constantly getting into fights. The first thing he says when Nola gets assaulted and he finds out is, where he at? I'm going to kick his behind. I'm going to fight him. That's it. Everybody else had their own thing to say. You know, Overstreet was like, why didn't you call me? You know, Greer Childs was like, you should have learned jujitsu. I don't like how sometimes they leave Opal out. They just let Opal like dangle on the side. But I think Opal is a very, very important character in this. Okay. Oh, you guys are just jumping ahead. I know it's really easy, this one. So I want to share with you Mars because I really, like I said, I like this character. And like I said, this actor is fine. I looked at his headshots when I was doing this and I said, oh my goodness, you go, young man. Okay, hold up. So am I sharing this? No. Okay. I'm sharing it right now. Now I'm going to share Mars, so we could see what's going on with him. Damn it, I keep doing it wrong. I'm going to get it together. All right. Screen share. So Mars, this is a scene right here of Mars arguing with the neighbor. He was going back and forth with her. And that's issues with gentrification. They also bring up, you know, a lot of people moving into the neighborhood complaining about the people that's already been there and living there. This is an issue that was going on in this movie. I mean, in this Netflix series. If you haven't seen this, y'all, please watch it to know what's going on. See, this is a scene with him and Nola that I thought was funny because he's putting that aggressiveness, and he's already talking about moving in with her. She was like, oh, please, talking about where he could put his sneakers. Yeah, right. This was when she told him about what happened, and he was like, he ready to fight the guy. He even got a little too touchy with her. Okay, even gets a little too touchy when he's supposed to be there for her, but you know what I mean? It was just like he just got a little too aggressive, even for her at the moment. All right, this fool is doing push-ups, okay, to pursue her. Doing push-ups, making her laugh, though. She likes it. Some more push-ups here for he's falling all over. Just active aggressive. One thing that I did, this is him about to fight somebody again in the party. One thing I loved about Mars is he was a foot soldier. All right, he was there. He was actively there for her. All right, this is him taking her paintings to her gallery exhibition. Everybody could use a Mars in their life, man, especially us artsy ladies. Look at him. Just riding away, happy too. Happy to take her stuff to him. I'm coming back to you guys now. So can everybody already said it. Mars, Blackmon, come on, Mars, y'all. Venus and Aries. Yes, Venus and Aries, because you guys were all saying it. But Kate, that's interesting. Venus and Scorpio. That was cool. But I think he was a little too flamboyant, a little too open and expressive. As far as being a Venus and Scorpio, he might have been more chilled about it. And I don't think he would have been riding them paintings around town, you know, excited about his love. And so I don't think he might have did that as a Scorpio. I think maybe as a Scorpio, he might have sent somebody to do it. I don't know. That's just me going in. So I think that I thought that was so interesting. I mean, he falls on the floor. He takes a little bike, picking up her paintings. That was her foot soldier. So, I mean, in the midst of all this, like I said, you know, in the midst of all this, she was going through her Saturn return. All right. Going through her Saturn return. I know Nola got some Neptune squares up in there too, because you saw how she bought the dress, which I thought that was a little crazy on her behalf, very sporadic how she bought that dress. And then you see how Nola, you know, she was confused, didn't know what she want, where she was going. She said, I love you now. No, I don't love you. I love this. She was all over the place. You know, that's definitely the signs of a Saturn return. These are definitely, you know, things that come up during that time. So I hope this is so far, that's my synopsis, but I really want to talk about this and I want to hear more of the opinions in the chat room. What's going on? What do you guys think? Were they really doing some kind of astrology thing? Because this is how it works, y'all. This is how the attractions go together hand in hand. You know, Mr. Jamie Overstreet, the Piner. We've all had Piners, you know, in our lives. And also, you guys get your questions ready, have them coming up, because I'm answering questions right now. You know, the Piners, Venus and Pisces, be careful with the Piners, because sometimes you think it's like, oh, you want to be with me, you're pining so bad. It's like, no, I just pine. That's just what I do. I just pine. And I'm even going to create a situation so I can continue to pine for you, because I like this. I dig this wanting something, but then not quite having it. You know, that's also, you know, what 12th house energy is. Sandy says, I need to watch this again from this point of view. Yes, Sandy, watch it again and check it out, because you're going to see it's so different how when you look at it through this view, like, wow, you know, you can constantly see that these people are consistently having, you know, these I'm sorry, I'm just reading. With the name Mars. Yeah, his name was Mars. Aries loves to fight. Yes, they do. That's how they express. They play fight. You know, it's just fun. Even if it's a verbal fight, Venus and Aries, they will partake in that. It's just, you know, it's kind of a turn on. How does Venus retro in your natal play out? My husband and I each have that. So, wow, you both have Venus retro and natally. Monique, thank you so much for your question. I appreciate that. So Monique, you know, with the Venus retro, when Venus is retrograde, the signs of Venus play out even more. They're even more accentuated. So whatever sign you guys have a Venus in, it's absolutely, like I said, that sign is probably even more accentuated to, you know, playing out in the relationships, and you both have it. That's just like a combustion of just this Venus energy, intense Venus energy here. That's what retrogrades do. What would be a good match for Venus in Pisces? Carla Almonte asks. Thank you, Carla. That's also a great question. What would be a good match for a Venus in Pisces? Okay, first, I want to say water signs. That's too much, too damn emotional. That is like really way too much. Like, oh my God, like why y'all are be crying like I love you. No, I love you too. Oh my God. But, you know, of course, Pisces, I'm going to go with your opposite sign. I want to go with your opposite sign, Virgo. Check out my video, guys, how opposites attract. In that video, it really talks, I want to say someone with something in Virgo, Venus and Pisces, but you know, it's tough for me to do exact matches looking at Venus unless I'm looking at the opposite, of course, obviously. You know, you don't want a planet that squares to Pisces. You don't want that. You want something that's in harmony. You know, Cancer, all the other water signs are in harmony with Pisces. You know, and some earth flow with Pisces. But really, when we're dealing with compatibility, then we want to deal with the aspects in the chart. What's going on? You know, who's there? Who's this? You know, who's that? So, Karen says, can we do more of these vids? I love seeing astrology and shows and stuff. Please. Oh, Karen, that's a great request. I will do my best to do this more consistently. I have so many ideas. Every week I got something new. But I'm going to try to do this. This was probably one of the only shows though, that I've seen it so strong. But now that I've got my eye on, and if you guys got your eye on, shoot me an email. You know, I watched Game of Thrones. I was a fan of Power. I love me some Power. Okay. I watch Black Mirror. Oh my God, Black Mirror. Have you guys watched Black Mirror? It's outstanding. It's a really great show. It leaves me, since I was a little kid, I always like really eerie stories. Those kind of stories that leave you like feeling some kind of way and you think about it the next day. I really like those type of stories. So, and also remember for your questions, the more simple your question is, the higher a chance you have of me actually answering it. Okay? Simplify, simplify. Is Venus in Scorpio okay with Venus in Leo? Karen. Venus, Scorpio squares Leo. Am I correct? Yeah, Scorpio squares Leo. I don't think so. No, I might be wrong about that. If I am, how silly do I feel? I'm an astrologer. But yes, I really wouldn't say, first of all, let's just talk about how these signs work. Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio with Venus and Leo. Venus and Leo is out there, open, pride. I want to show off. Scorpio is like, hell no, low key, I'm not showing off nothing. I'm protecting mine. I might be in fear somebody might take it. Okay? I'm holding on to this. Private. All right. And Leo's like, let's brag. So Leo is the date that's taking selfies like Greer Childs was. Leo's like trying to take selfies and Scorpio's like, chill with that. Chill with that. So right away, there's a clash here with that Scorpio and Leo energy here. So going down with more questions. I think Venus and Taurus, or yes, Virgo. Yeah, Taurus too. I dated a Pisces. It was really awesome. We just did all this art together. We were all artsy. Oh, Venus and Gemini. My boyfriend is Venus and Scorpio. Do you think that's a good match? No. I mean, I don't know anything else, Miss Love. So I can't say that for sure. I don't know what else is going on in the chart. All I know is, once again, is Venus and Scorpio. Scorpio needs, you know, a sign that can get really deep and serious with them, or at least can understand it. And not necessarily, even if they don't get deep, they need somebody that can understand where they're coming from on the deep level. Gemini, oh God, that would get on a Gemini's nerves. Like, why do you have to go? Why do you got to dig? Things aren't that deep. Why do you got to dig so much? You know, I could see a Gemini putting the joke to that Scorpio and it just turning them off totally and the Scorpio bouncing. It can work, Miss Love, because I don't know the other things that are going on in your chart. So, I mean, other aspects could make it work. but I'm not sure. Okay, Lil M Minor says, would Aries and Pisces be a good match? I think so. They're like right next to you. They're like brother and sister on the wheel. You know, those two together, I think they could flow. All right, Pisces can understand Aries' aggressiveness and roughness, you know, and they could turn that fire into, you know, the spiritual thing, you know. So Pisces and Aries, they flow together well. Taurus is romantic. Taurus is very romantic. Yes, yes, yes. Will there be a man in my life soon? Gemma says. Let me think. Gemma, maybe. Maybe, Gemma. Get a reading with me, and I'm going to check out your chart, and we can find out exactly what's going on in your love life, okay? Scandal, Monique. Now, I support Scandal. I do. I support it. I even click on it just to give it some views, say I watched it, but I'm not going to front. That show gave me a headache. The first two, I watched it and I binged watched it, maybe because that was my problem. I had binged watched it, and at the end of it, I had this terrible headache, and I was like, I'm never watching this show again. It's too much. Then I watched Breaking Bad did that for me too. It messed with my nerves. I guess I'm sensitive, y'all. Breaking Bad, it was too much going on. I didn't like that, all that stress on the show. Maybe it's my imagination. And my imagination is very strong. So, thought that was interesting. You're right. It's a square. Thank you, Siobhan. Man, sometimes it's like, I don't know. Okay. What's a good match for a Venus in Cancer female? Venus in Cancer. I mean, go with another, automatically, you know, go with the sign that's in harmony to you. If all else is rough in the chart between you and a person, you at least want your Venuses to match up. When your Venuses match up in a chart, guys, just for a note, when your Venuses matches, that means you guys have a similar taste in style. You guys kind of like the same thing. You know, she wants the lights off. He wants the lights off too. You know what I mean? When your Venuses are opposing, one person wants the lights on and the other person wants the lights off. What y'all gonna do? It's a challenge. Somebody has to compromise in that sense. So, you know, for Cancers, you know, you want to stick with a sign that will allow you to nurture them. All right. I love my fire signs too, Carrie. They just light up the world. They just light up the world. What does it mean to have okay, this is just B. What does it mean to have so many planets in the 7th house in the sign of Scorpio, including your North Node? That's an intense question, just like that's an intense placement. All right. Just be like, that's no joke. I mean, you definitely are, relationships are your destiny in life. You need to learn this lifetime how to relate to other people, to experience how to do this in a way, you know, healing traumas from past, you know, healing traumas that you might have went through in a past life, and now this life, you know, you're supposed to go through it, you know, so that's deep. You have a lot of lessons to learn in relationships, we'll say. All right, let me keep going down these questions. These are excellent questions. I'm going to head out of here soon. And I hope you guys are catching me on Instagram at AstroDstars5. I meant to mention that in the beginning of the video, but I didn't. But I did now. So let me keep going. What is the energy between me and my Leo creativity? What is the energy between me and my Leo creativity? I hope that it's an energy where you find yourself and you keep being creative, because wherever Leo is probably where you're your most creative. Thank you, Kate. I'm glad you love me. I'm so glad. What does my Venus in Sag say about me in general? Venus in Sagittarius, peeps, you know, it's a mix here. You know, you guys want to explore. You guys want a lot on the platter, different, you know, got a whole bunch of different tastes on the same platter. You know, some of the Venus and Sagittarius. I think Venus and Sagittarius is also down with polygamy as well, like Venus and Aquarius. But more so Venus and Sagittarius is like, you know, wants to be more of an active type of lover. Let's travel together. You know, Venus and Sagittarius, what can I learn from my lover? What can I teach them? Are they smart? You better be smart trying to step to a Venus and Sagittarius. You will disappoint them every time if you're not. What's a good match for Venus and Aquarius? Venus and Leo. Okay. Libra works for Venus and Aquarius. I think Gemini as well. Gemini, Aquemini, hello, outcast, y'all. Venus and Gemini, okay, Venus and Aquarius together is very nice. I mean, they're both out there. They're lighthearted. They want to both have a good time together. You know, they're both able to teach each other so many different things. I think Venus and Aquarius goes good with Gemini. D, how do we get readings from you? Yes, how do you get readings from me? Okay, in this, thank you. That was the best question all night, Karen. Best question. All right, you go into this chat box here, the discussion area. No, I'm sorry. It's called description. You click on description, and within description, it talks about where to go to get my artwork. If you want to purchase some artwork, it talks about where to go to get a reading exactly. You click on that, all right? Click on that, you get a reading with me. You can ask one question for 40 bucks, or we can go deep and we can really talk about your relationships. We can look at your chart and see. We can look at you and your boo, or you and a crush. You know, I've helped a lot. I'm very proud that I helped a lot of people stop wasting their damn time. Because a lot of people you will waste your time talking to somebody every day, and they will cut you off the next day, and you'd be like, what happened? Oh my God. So, you know, it's just like, I hope that I can help a lot of people not waste their times in relationships, because that's what we do, right? We waste our times with the wrong people. You love Breaking Bad, Monique? You like that suspense? Can't take that, man. Maybe I'm getting old. I need shows that keep me interested. Yeah, you need that stimulation. Okay, I get it, Monique. I get it. Virgo, Libra, cusp here. What's a Pisces? Good match. I mentioned Virgo for Pisces, Vanessa Martinez. What's a good match for Capricorn? Themselves. Capricorn, sheesh. I mean, nah, they could take a Virgo. I'd say Capricorn always needs lighter signs. I don't care. Y'all can say, y'all Capri say you love that like solitude and stuff, but no, you need a friend, okay, Capricorn. So, you know, I say a Virgo, because Virgo will help you in your loneliness or whatever you're going through, okay? Cancer, definitely, because that's your balance. Capricorns, when you find you're being too mean, because I've come across some mean Capricorn, when you find you're being too mean, look to Cancer energies. Look to Cancer energies to balance yourself out. Go talk to your mama. Call your mama. Do something. But don't stay mean, y'all. Don't stay mean. Won't look good when you're old. Okay? Orange is the new black. Yo, you know what? There was this scene that, I mean, it tickled my heart. Do you guys, first of all, season 2 of Orange is the New Black was my favorite season. That's the one that had V in it. Oh my God, Academy of, just amazing season. Do you guys remember that girl that was into astrology? And she was like, let me get your time. Let me get your birth time. Let me get your birth time. Oh my God, that was hilarious. I loved it. But yeah, that was me. Sometimes that's me. Do we encounter certain archetypes during our Saturn return for a certain reason? And what's the lesson? Excellent, excellent question, beautiful disaster. Let me break that down. Yes, the answer is yes. When you're going through certain transits in your life, you know, Saturn being in a certain house, even during your Saturn return, what you'll do is you'll find that you meet people that have those aspects. So let's say you have Jupiter transiting in your 10th house, and you meet someone, wow, I like this person. There's something about them. I'm drawn to them. You look at their chart and you find out they natally have Jupiter in the 10th house. What is this lesson? What is the lesson of that? I believe the lesson of that is to let you know you're on the right path, number one, to remind you of the lesson of that sign or whatever is going on, to remind you like this is how you walk. You're walking in alignment. I always say, my friend, shout out to my homie Baki Abdul Ashid is his name. Shout out Baki. We would hang out, and I remember like when things would go so smooth and easy for me, I would always say, we're in alignment. We're in alignment, Baki. We're in alignment. So when you do have a certain, if you have a certain planet, let's say Saturn 11th house, and you meet somebody that has it, that means you're in alignment. Talk to that person. Learn what you need to learn from them. Oh, this one is tough. Amber, send me an email, Amber Stevens, because that one's a little bit long. You know, I need them quick. I need them short and simple on me. Okay, Venus in Sagittarius. If we not growing, then I'm going. I hear that, Siobhan. Yes. And Saggy is about growth, expansion. That's Jupiter. That's Jupiter, y'all. Jupiter is like, oh no. Thanks, D. I have to get me a reading for Valentine's Day. Yes, everybody, Valentine's Day is coming up. Is somebody not texting you back? Is somebody all of a sudden getting funny on you? Hit me up for that Valentine's Day, y'all. Okay. Help mom. What was Gemini again? A good Aquarius. Ma, you need to hook up with probably an Aquarius. Will be nice for you. Sagittarius as well. Absolutely Sagittarius. You fall in love with a Saggy, mama. What else we got here on these questions? And I need a couple more and I'm getting ready to wrap up soon. The 11th house, let me see, because I want to make sure I get somebody that didn't get answered. Anyone who asked a question and I passed it by, can you post it again before I head out? So I make sure, you know, nobody's left like, oh, sure did not answer my damn question and it pissed me off. Dude, it's not in the description. Can I find you on Lotta site? Yes, you can. And thank you for letting me know that it's not on Lotta, that it's not in the description, because immediately after this video, I'm putting it in the description so that you guys can do it. Also, if you follow me on @AstroDstars5, you can also get information on bookings there. I'm a Capricorn. Will there be a new man in my life soon? Capricorns, you got Saturn in your first house right now. You got Saturn in your house. That's not really what you're supposed to be working on. And I know it's tough. This is probably the time, the least time that you should be thinking about it, but that you do, because Saturn is opposing your 7th house. You're dealing with the karmas of previous relationships. You're dealing with, you know, a slowdown in that area, because Saturn is literally looking at your 7th house. It's putting its influence onto your partnerships and relationships. What does Saturn do? Saturn brings delays, okay? But let it delay, because what does Saturn do while it's in your first house? It brings growth. It brings maturity, all right? So you focus on you, Gemma. So by the time Saturn leaves, okay, and it clears up that area and whatever planets are going in there, you can be ready for love. Gemma, I'd love to see your chart and find out what's going on with that. Because that is interesting. We got Saturn in Capricorn, got a lot of planets in Capricorn. I know you're probably dealing with a lot of issues right now, facing relationships, maybe feeling a little lonely. I get it. I get it. Do we have a future? Heidi, great question. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All right, Fire of Love. What movie will we discuss next? This was awesome. Fire of Love. Yes, this was fun. Yes, I had a good time doing this. I don't know yet. I got to watch the movies. I'm going to go watch the movies as soon as I get off here, and I'm going to go figure out what I should do next, because I really enjoyed it. And like I said, this is excellent for learning astrology, right? Because learning, my mom always taught me, you know, she made learning fun for me. So I think, you know, when teaching children or teaching anybody, you have to have some sense of excitement. There's got to be some sense of relating to it, you know? So the people that have seen this and you can enjoy it, you enjoy the film, then you can enjoy this. So if you haven't seen She's Gotta Have It yet, make sure you check it out. Hopefully, okay, there's another line or I could get up in an audition for season 2, right? That would be cool. I would love to get some words up in there, get some words. So I'm going to leave for you guys. You know how I do it. I'm going to leave my Astro D Stars 5. I'm going to leave my Instagram. And then I'm going to leave my email right here, Astro D Stars at, oh, I said T-Stars. That is not how you spell stars. S-T-A-R-S, yes, at gmail.com. Shoot me an email, let me know. And if you guys wanted a reading and you couldn't find it in the link, then I'm going to email you all the information. So just email me, say, hey, D, I want a reading, what's up? And I'm gonna email you the link and all that stuff. The only love I'm looking for with Capricorn in the 2nd house is a sugar daddy. That's what I'm saying. You better have some money and live for a long time too, because you know that they could get real old. Capricorn in the 2nd house. The 2nd house, I think, rules death. They say, this is Vedic I'm talking now. I'm talking some Vedic stuff. I think that Capricorn rules death or something like that. So yes, I will tell you in advance, Fire of Love, if you definitely stay on. Bye, Karis. See you later. If you Fire of Love, if you follow me on Instagram, you will find out every week, every Sunday, and you'll know what the topic is. I wanted to get y'all into this on Friday, because I wanted some of you to watch it if you haven't seen it. Shanika Martinez, thank you so much, Astro D. I think I'm in some trouble. My mate is a Sagittarius, and I'm at the point in our relationship where I'm so mean. Oh, God. Shanika, send me a message. Okay, shoot me an email, and we can talk about that. Okay, everybody, Sugar Daddy, you guys are so funny. Thank you so much for the love, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, participating, loving you all. All right, and I hope you have a great week, and stay tuned for next Sunday. Of course, that's when the computer freezes and you're trying to like have a really smooth exit and it doesn't happen. Okay, bye.